It looks like the battle is finally over. What's going on, YouTube? Listen, I know it's been a whirlwind of a week. I've just been programmed to sit here and stay strapped into the chair and wait for who's going to drop next. But it looks like we have major news that I wanted to talk to you guys about, just do some reflections on this battle so far. So after Drake dropped, it looked like Kendrick was going to drop. He had something ready, but then he pulled it back. That's word from the camp, and then a lot around TDE yesterday were tweeting, good battle. And a number of people that I've interviewed or worked with on the channel before who are really tapped into the situation, shout out to Mickey Fax, King Crooked, a number of others have come out and said that it looks like Drake has waved the white flag, and therefore Kendrick is not going to keep dropping and keep releasing stuff, which is kind of scary because it also makes you think, how many tracks did Kendrick still have tucked away? Did he really have 5 more as people said, and we were going to get a full 10 unleashed on Drake? But yesterday I did my reaction to Drake's drop, and I was definitely a lot more constructive with my critique. And one of the reasons for that was because I just felt like amidst the 3 consecutive drops that Kendrick gave us, it was very, very important for how Drake dealt with it and his response. Because if Drake's response really went atomic and blew up, it would have forced a battle to keep going. Even if Drake wants to walk away and go off on vacation and go do shots somewhere in the Caribbean, it's not going to stop Kendrick from taking shots and keep going, because that man is relentless. And like I said and kind of predicted in that breakdown, unfortunately, if there's 1 or 2 lines that leave glaring openings, just from a logical perspective, that leave openings for the internet or for your opponent to exploit, well, they're going to run away with that narrative. And then people are just going to hone in on that. It's like the news sharing a story. Like, nobody wants to read the full story anymore. They just look for the headlines. And then there's like that one quote that just gets misquoted and misplaced, and everyone runs with it and starts talking about it. And that was my concern with the Drake diss. And look what the internet is doing. I mean, the memes are going absolutely crazy right now. I don't know what's wrong with some of you heathens. I feel like I'm going to have to wash my eyes out. One thing is for certain. Like, once my daughters get older, they are never being allowed to go online. It's not happening. We're moving out to the middle of the woods. We're becoming hermits. Fuck it. I'm a hunt with my bare hands like Rambo for the rest of the time. Like, there is no way I am exposing them to you people out there. I'm just kidding. I love you. So yeah, purely from the perspective of the battle, even though Drake has technically waved the white flag, and again, it's not like Drake has directly said this. We don't know what's happened behind the scenes. You know, a lot of people speculate, a lot of stories happen. So until we hear from sources, it's hard to say anything. But I definitely felt like there were enough angles from Drake to merit a response from Kendrick. Maybe we could still get a Kendrick drop. Maybe he'll save that for an album now, and he'll just want to make a definitive statement on the situation. But I definitely felt like there was enough of an opening for that side of things to drop and at least give one more diss track for people to stew on. Now, as far as a winner goes, I don't want to jump ahead of myself and declare anyone a winner yet, because listen, in these situations, there's always the knee-jerk reaction. An artist drops an album, we knee-jerk react to it. There's that first reaction to it, but then you start to listen to it over time. And it's only over time and digesting it and seeing how things measure up 6 months from now, seeing how things measure up a couple years from now, do I think that you can truly appreciate the value and talk about timelessness of disses, timelessness of albums. So for me, I think we still need to let things marinate now. I think it's time to put these on a playlist, enjoy them, sit back, listen to them through. Hey, make a playlist of my reactions, right? Just go through all the different breakdowns. There's like hours of that to go through right now, and just digest it and think about it and take time to see who you feel won, to formulate your opinion on it. And one disclaimer I do want to make is that, you know, I'm trying to keep things on wax, and I hope that they keep it on wax too, because there were some threats that started to get towards the end when it really felt like things weren't just about competition. And even Kendrick spoke on this. Like, it just got to a point where it really felt like he hates Drake, and there's a lot of personal issues and venom there that he's taking up with Drake, and you just don't want to see that feud spill out in other ways. You'd love to see it stay on the music, stay on the culture, energize discussions for lyricism, because that is one of the positives of all of this. Like, one thing that I've seen is just how crazy the numbers are that they're both doing streaming wise, just killing it right now. Everybody's talking about it. Even people that don't really follow rap are talking about it. Every news source that I hear about is talking about this situation and this beef. And I think that's only good for lyrical hip hop, because you've had years now where most of the artists dominating the mainstream, you can't necessarily say that a lot of them are really like upper echelon lyricists, right? What this is making us do is go back and appreciate the Kendricks of the world, the J. Coles of the world. Drake when he gets into his rap bag and he gets more lyrical. And it's making people search out for reaction channels like me and breakdown channels that really explain the double entendres, the triple entendres, what goes into it, the rhyme writing, the multis, the flows, all of that, the true art of emceeing and technical emceeing, which makes a truly elite artist an elite master of ceremonies. And it really has been a blessing. I mean, we hit the trending page. We hit number 6 on trending. That's the first time I have ever been on YouTube trending in my entire life. And I'm well aware that if you look at when Kendrick was dropping, there was like 5, 6, 7 reaction channels alongside his diss that were on trending. Shaq was making trending. Other artists were making trending. It was just incredible to see because for me, I've always said this, you know, amidst this reaction community, when one of us wins, all of us really do win. Because all it does is bring more attention to the lane of reaction channels. So when Shaq blows up and does like 2 million views on a video, that's a win for all of us. I know people are going to knee jerk. They're going to get jealous. I've seen some other reactors take shots at him and diss tracks and other reactors in this community, me included. But at the end of the day, it's more about community and lifting each other up than tearing each other down. So it's great to see that. It's great to see the reactors kill it and trend in terms of numbers, because what that does is it brings in a new audience. It brings in new people and a new brand awareness. And then once they dive into these rabbit holes, they'll start finding me. They'll start finding other breakdown channels. And for me, that's only a win-win. The other incredible news is that for the first time ever, a label, mainstream label artist has made it so that reactors can monetize their reactions to the music. I mean, that has never ever happened before. That's one of the things I say. Like, even though I'm at 1 million subscribers, in terms of what I earn monthly, it's nowhere near a reflection of that, because most of the videos that I do and break down, they get content ID'd, which means I cannot monetize it. Now, sure, I make like a 30-minute video out of a 3-minute song. You could way and above argue that I'm making transformative content, and fairground use means that I should get a slice of that. But unfortunately, that's not how the copyright system works here on YouTube. We've talked about this before. So it really takes a label artist. It takes someone who's in control, who holds the cards and who holds the power to go, hang on. These guys are actually helping us right now. They're creating a benefit for us. They're sending fans our way. They're helping people appreciate our music that much more. They're helping just to spread it and encourage the viewership and the numbers. And for me, this has always been like a no-brainer over the years, but it really is finally, it's incredible to see that this is a justification, that this is actually happening. And maybe this sets the precedent so that more artists will do this going forward, and more artists will follow and help to support reaction channels and help to lift us up further, because it just adds to our legitimacy. It really does go a hell of a long way. So salute to Kendrick for doing that, for taking such an important step, and for looking out for other content creators. That's absolutely incredible. And lastly, I want to thank you guys. You know, a lot of you who have come onto the channel for the first time because of this beef, because of this situation. You know, maybe you've seen my videos before, maybe you've heard about me, but you look at the thumbnail and you're like, nah, I'm not giving Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood a chance over here. Well, you finally did. You finally clicked and you listened and you found, hey, you know what? Maybe I enjoy what he's saying. Maybe I enjoy his knowledge, the way that he breaks things down and explains it. Like, you know, I've said this so many times before. This is the culture that raised me, right? I grew up a white kid in a primarily black community. You know, hip hop is what surrounded me daily. You know, all these great discussions and just everything that I've learned and have been through over the years. You know, I'm privileged and I'm blessed to have a platform these days to speak on it, to share it with you. And I just want you guys to know that I never, ever take that for granted. This really is a blessing. And, you know, it's incredible that we're doing the numbers that we're doing, that we continue to grow, and that you guys continue to support me, you know, to leave comments, to like my videos, to share it, to get the word out there. So thank you for giving me a chance, and thank you for making all this possible. Like, this is something that I love. I'm passionate about. And when you get to do something that you love, it never really feels like work. I know I made some jokes like, you know, I'm tired. And yeah, it is tough on the weekends because that's my most valuable family time. But at the end of the day, you know, my family understands. They're here to support me. They know that this helps us support them. So when I get a chance to do this, it energizes me. You know, it keeps me going. And we've had this happen before when big drops and things happen, even when I'm sick, even when I'm in pain or other things are going on. Like, I still find a way to tap in. I still find a way to spend some time with you because this is the shit that just energizes me. You know, this is the shit that gets me excited, that I just love. So Thank you guys. You know, I don't really know where else to end it here. I'm sure that as time goes on, I'll make more videos on this situation, give some more thoughts on things. Because, yeah, I think there's some very interesting angles and points that we're going to need some receipts on, that we're going to need to discuss, because I think that also affects the discussion of who won in the end and who had the better disses. So we'll see how that plays out and how the fallout occurs from that. But yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to dive into previous tracks too, to look at some of the other great tracks from these artists, look at some of the other great disses. And yeah, we've got a lot more on the channel, so stay tuned. You know, thanks for rocking with me. Subscribe, notifications on. If you haven't already, for some reason you're here, you want to support, hit that subscribe button. Also, go get some merch. Go get some merch. Go cop it. knoxhilldmv.com, and stay tuned. I got a very, very special drop tomorrow. We getting that BBL Drizzy in. You know what's coming. All right, guys.